podcast. This is episode 63. I like Mondays. So, I'm back. I had to take an unexpected break from the podcast last week. I was super sick, so I started out with just kind of a unexplained fever for a few days. I think it was 5 days actually, and I went into the doctor. They weren't quite sure what was wrong. They didn't do a lung x-ray or anything. And so they did give me an antibiotic, but they basically were like, yeah, like you could take this, but I was nervous because they still didn't know what was wrong. So I didn't end up taking it because I started feeling better, but then I started feeling worse. So I went back in, and then they did a lung x-ray and I had pneumonia. And so that's what I've been dealing with for like 3 weeks. I was talking to my mom about it, and she was giving me advice, and I was just talking about how like it's really hard for me to take off work and to do those kinds of things when I'm sick. Like I tend to really, really struggle, but I also at the same time don't want to let people down. Like I want people to like me. So like this is gonna sound bad, but I feel like this is everybody. Like, but I'm okay letting like my husband down and letting things fall by the wayside around the house, or like letting my friends down and not getting together with them. But when it comes to like professional work and students and stuff, just get so nervous that I'm gonna get in trouble or that people aren't gonna like me, that I have a really hard time, calling out sick and taking care of myself that way. And she was like, you should do a podcast episode about that. And I was like, how am I supposed to do a podcast episode about it? Because I'm so bad at it. I don't know what I'm doing. So that's not what we're talking about today. But I did think I'd mention that little tidbit because it was really hard. I had a really hard time. And I'm starting to feel better. You still probably hear it in my voice that I am still getting over it a little bit, but I do feel much better after the antibiotic treatment. And so I'm grateful to be feeling better. I still have no answers when it comes to how to navigate life when sick, but maybe that's one of those things that I just don't need answers to. So anyway, speaking of not needing all the answers, I have this beautiful song I wanted to recap today. This is one of the hardest ones that I'm like, okay, like you actually need to just go listen to this song because it's got very clean lyrics. It's very beautiful. And so it's linked in the show notes. So if you even wanted to pause this and go listen to it first, I wouldn't be offended as long as you come back and don't just listen to it over and over again like I have been. But this song is called I Like Mondays by Taylor Bickett. If you've heard that song, that's like, it's called Quarter Life Crisis. It went pretty viral. That's by the same person. It's the one that's like, I swear 16 was yesterday, but now I'm closer to 28. That's same artist. So, anyway, she wrote this song called I Like Mondays. And when I first heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is me. This is my life. And I totally could relate to it with anxiety, with OCD, with perfectionism. And so I'm going to do a lyric breakdown like I've done in the past and do just a little bit of analyzing and admiring and maybe some advice giving. It's a little bit repetitive, so we'll see how I go about the repetitiveness of it, but it's absolutely beautiful. So, starts out, I like New Year's, I like Mondays, I like firsts of the month. Notebook paper, wet cement, the moment's never been touched. First of all, I have to say, I also love notebook paper, brand new notebooks. Notebook paper, wet cement, the moment's never been touched. I like knowing that there's something that I haven't messed up, because I will, and I do, and I'm supposed to. So Taylor has like shared reels with this song, kind of describing a little bit what it's about, not too in depth, anything crazy, but she'll say like something like, I wrote this song as a recovering perfectionist. And so I love her line here that she said, I like knowing that there's something that I haven't messed up because I will and I do and I'm supposed to. because there's this funny phase of trying to overcome perfectionism where you're trying to overcome perfectionism perfectly. Like, as she's fully acknowledging, like, I know I'm supposed to mess up. I know, because we've learned that, right? We've learned, like, we're not supposed to be perfect. And so then there's an extra layer of beating ourselves up when we beat ourselves up for not being perfect. It's like a double whammy, because it's like, look, like, you're bad at being a perfectionist, or like, it's you're beating yourself up. You're not supposed to do that. And then it's like another layer and we just make things worse. So anyway, she says, I like knowing that there's something that I haven't messed up, because I will, and I do, and I'm supposed to. I am perfect, if by perfect you mean totally flawed. I am wrestling with the presence of an all-knowing God. I drink caffeine even though I always said I would not. So I'm weak or a fool, but I'm supposed to be. I love this line, that I am wrestling with the presence of an all-knowing God. I think that there's something really beautiful within specifically my religion and the LDS faith, that's like, we know that, like, God's watching over us, God loves us, and also, like, the very beautiful non-shame-filled parts of our religion. But there's also that shame-filled part where it's like, it feels like God knows everything, I'm doing everything, I'm thinking, and I'm so bad, like, I do so many things wrong. And that's not the point, I think that's the adversary speaking. But wrestling with the presence of an all-knowing God, I think, is a very relatable thing. And then she says, I drink caffeine always, even though I always said I would not. This is me every month when I'm like, okay, I'm quitting Dr. Pepper again, and then life gets hard and I pick it back up. So I was doing good at not drinking it, and then I got super sick, and it was the only thing that could get my energy back up so that I could function. So I went back on the Dr. Pepper train, and as she says, so I'm weak or a fool, but I'm supposed to be. Again, she's acknowledging, I know I'm supposed to be imperfect, but I still don't like it. But I'm weak or a fool, but I'm supposed to be. That's me. I rush the future. I cling to the past. I'm terrified the present will not last. I see the irony. I get the fact. It's already gone by the time that the thought has passed. I'm terrified the present will not last. I see the irony. I get the fact. It's already gone. Yeah, I mean, the journey of mindfulness and being more present is, it has those irony-filled moments where it's like, okay, I need to be present. And it's like, well, thinking about being present isn't being too present. And it just takes practice. It just takes time. And it's never, ever done perfectly, which can be hard for perfectionists. It's already gone by the time that the thought has passed. I am working on it. Give me some grace. I like empty pages. I like Mondays. I mean, this whole song is basically her saying she likes fresh starts because she gets to be perfect for a little bit. She likes New Year's because she gets to follow her New Year's resolutions for those first few days. She likes Mondays because nothing's gone wrong yet. If she's like me, then something goes wrong by 9:30 on Monday, but we're both perfectionists, so something can probably go wrong pretty easily. Okay, so she says, I'm working on it. Give me some grace. I like empty pages. I like Mondays. This is the verse that makes me cry. I like order. I like answers wrapped in ribbon and twine. I grab hold of unknown outcomes till my knuckles are white. Yeah, like, there's so much more gray area in life than I ever expected. I always thought there would be just clear answers for everything. And I do think that there is such a thing as truth out there, absolute truth. But at the same time, there's a lot of areas in life where there's not absolute truth. And so I think that trying to grab hold of those unknown outcomes or grab hold of those things that we're just not sure about and really figure them out is going to hurt us more than help us. And learning to embrace uncertainty and embrace the unknown is going to help us more, even though it feels scary. So she says, yeah, I like order. I like answers wrapped in ribbon and twine. I grab hold of unknown outcomes till my knuckles are white. I am trying to be kinder to this body of mine because it keeps me alive like it's supposed to. So true. Perfectionism surrounding our bodies is a trap. It will never get to the point where you're perfectly satisfied. And so we better learn to accept our bodies as they are. And then any quote unquote improvements we want to make regarding our health can be bonus. But if our bodies are functioning and keeping us alive and helping us get through pneumonia, they are doing their job. And then I rush to the future. I cling to the past. I'm terrified the present will not last. I see the irony. I get the fact. It's already gone by the time that the thought has passed. I'm working on it. Give me some grace. I like empty pages. I like Mondays. And then she says, I would eat the solar system all in one bite if it could give me clarity, if it would let me freeze time. I'm trying to surrender, but I'm hardwired for fight. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's something about life where it's like, if we just surrender to what is, and let moments and time and people be who and what they are, that's very peaceful and very relaxing. But her line, but I'm hardwired for fight. Me too. There's something about giving up control that feels scary, even if it's just the illusion of control. Give me some grace. I like empty pages. I like New Year's. I like Mondays. I like first of the month, notebook paper, wet cement, the moment's never been touched. I like knowing that there's something that I haven't messed up, because I will, and I do, and I'm supposed to. So this is a sad song. Don't get me wrong. Like, I cry when I listen to it, but there's also something so beautiful about being understood and somebody being able to put into art what those deepest scary feelings that I have. And I've always been impressed with that, with this artist, with Taylor Bickett, and also with an artist called Blue Eyes, that's written some really, like, I guess, heart-wrenching songs. But it's like, I'm almost jealous. I want to be able to, it sounds like I'm crying right now. It's just the cough. But I'm jealous because I'm like, I want to be able to put these feelings into songs, and I can sing. I love to sing, but I can't write like this. I can't write these beautiful words and put them to music. But I'm so glad that there's people who can, because I need it. It just frees something in me. So anyway, go stream this song. Hopefully you like it as much as I do. Thank you so much for listening. I'm really excited to be back recording the podcast. Lots of exciting things going on in my life. I am finishing up some classes for prerequisites to the counseling master's degree, and I'll be applying for programs in the fall. All scary, all fun. It's vulnerable to, submit an application for something I might not get for something I'd really love to do. But I know that's a part of life, is taking risks and being scared and rejection and all those things. And so I am excited and ready to hopefully make that next step in my life. Come back next week. I am talking about a part of the interview I did with Michelle, the therapist who came on our podcast. There was a part of our interview I really wanted to expound upon. So that's what I'm going to be chatting about for next week. And I think it's going to be a really great episode. So make sure you come back, send this episode to someone who would like it, send the song to somebody who would like it, and then make them listen to the episode, whatever order you want to do. But thank you so much for listening,